Hi, I'm Teresa Alvarado, Deputy Administrative Officer with the Santa Clara Valley Water District. Welcome to the People Behind Your Water. Today I have a very, very special guest with me, and many of you in the audience will know her. Her name is Kathy Machado, and she's our Water Resources Education Program Manager here at the Water District. I'm going to turn it over to Kathy to show you what she does.
One of the things that I do, Teresa, which I really enjoy, and I think that the children enjoy, the classes that we go to, is a little magic, gets everybody's attention. One of the big problems that we're having right now with the drought is preventing leaks. And even though our toilets are the main cause of leaks, there are still faucets that leak. You probably saw this dripping while we were sitting here.
I did.
It's really tough because you never know how much water can be wasted. Now that was quite a bit of water, and yet it's still dripping.
Okay.
Now, one of the things you can do to prevent it from dripping is to try and tighten it.
Sure.
But that doesn't always work.
Ooh,
They're
we lost
still
some water.
dripping. Yeah, it's still dripping. Now, the best thing that you can do, did you see it drip again?
I did. It's really annoying me.
It is. And it's most annoying at night when
Yes.
you're trying to go to sleep. Then you hear it because, you know, it's still dripping.
Wow.
The best thing you can do when you have a leaky faucet is call a plumber. That's the best thing to do. So I try to remind the students to take care of those leaks right away.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Always good to start with a visual. Over the years, you have seen just thousands of kids, and we're going to get into that, but you have created such a legacy through your work. How did you come to the district, and how did your career here start?
I was really lucky. I was a principal in a local school district, and I saw a flyer come across my desk asking for an educator. And I had been a teacher for 9 years and a principal for 12, and I was looking for something new. And I saw this, and they were asking for a teacher, and I thought, this is perfect for me. So I put in my application, and I was really lucky because there were a lot of applicants.
And that was how many years ago?
That was 19 years ago.
So how has the program changed or expanded over the years?
In the beginning, the program pretty much was someone in the public information office. If a school called and wanted someone to come out, then they would send someone out with a video and answer questions, or they would go out and talk to the kids. But they didn't have a full-on program. And the board at that time, that was back in 1995, decided that education was really important. And so they wanted somebody who wouldn't be called away, because whenever anything serious happened, and it happens a lot with water, they would cancel the presentations. So they wanted someone dedicated solely to the schools. And that was my in.
That's great. Over the years, how many students do you think you've taught?
I know that we've reached over 330,000 students with the outreach program, where we go into classes.
Amazing.
And we don't go in and talk to kids. We go in and do hands-on lessons so that kids actually participate in the lesson and they remember us.
I know you run into kids all the time who say, Mrs. Machado, I remember you. You came to our class. And
They
tell you
say,
their
the
stories.
water wizard. You're the water wizard, the water lady.
And as part of the program, reaching out to the classrooms and going and doing all these hands-on activities, I know you also have interns who are typically education majors. Is that right?
That's what we strive for, is to have education majors, although over the years we've had some students who were not college students. But right now I have 6 college interns, and they're from local colleges, and they go out and help with a lot of the presentations. We're seeing almost 21,000 students this year alone.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not just a half hour. If we go in for the preschool, it's a half-hour puppet show, but all the other classes, it's at least an hour and sometimes 2 hours of hands-on lessons.
And how do the interns help?
They actually go into the classrooms and do the lessons, teach
Wow.
them. So we do a rotation. If we have 3 third-grade classes, I send 3 teachers, and they rotate through the rooms, each with a different lesson.
Okay. So you obviously have a strong partnership with teachers all throughout the valley, and they immediately start calling at the beginning of the school year and try to book their presentations. How many teachers, I know you also provide training, education training to teachers. How many teachers have you provided Project WET training to?
The water education training for teachers, we've done 1,000 plus teachers who actually outreach to over 550,000 students And if you think that every year they keep doing it over and over again, but their outreach, the year that they came, that was what they were doing. So we're reaching a lot of students, even though we're not the ones in the classroom. The teachers are using the same lessons that we use and then go out to the schools.
You know, and with the resources being constrained in schools, public education, it's harder to go do tours and field trips with students. I would imagine that the interest and demand for our programs is really, really high.
It is, and this year, particularly with the drought, where I'm getting 3 or 4 calls a day asking for presentations, and we're currently booked solid. I have a waiting list, but we are having some schools that have to cancel, and they're really sorry because I can't reschedule them now. We're so close to the end of the year.
Well, I know that other folks who aren't in school also get a chance to see you at community events and festivals. You'll be at one this weekend, I understand. But talk about a little bit about the community festivals you participate
We go
in.
and we set up booths and do activities with the students. We have a wheel that the kids spin, and then we ask them questions related to water, either water conservation or flooding. And then they get a prize. They might get stickers or one of our books that we have. So they're very interested in all of that. And then frequently I'm asked to do a magic show for the for the community. And this weekend I will be doing a magic show as well as hosting a booth.
Yay! And I'll be taking my goddaughter. How many, I know you have different curricula for different classrooms. So talk a little bit about what you provide to the little kids, to the middle school kids, high school, and college.
Pretty much we do a puppet show for preschool, and then kindergarten through college, we do hands-on lessons. So using Project WET, which is a resource book with over 100 lessons in it. And they're targeted to different grade levels. And so we have 4 different lessons for every grade level, and we've matched them with the state standards, and now we're coordinating them with Common Core so that they're consistent with what the teachers have to teach. And because of that, teachers really like us to come in because we're helping them with their programs.
And then the middle school or the high school kids, when they're starting to think about careers?
We also have a career program, so we let them know they can go on our website, they can look at all the careers, but they actually get a sheet listing all the jobs, and then they can go online and find out how much they'll make and what they need to do, what schooling they need to get, what skills they need to develop. So it's a pretty thorough program.
And this week, I know that your schedule is packed, or next week with Evergreen Valley College. So
Yes.
what kind of lessons will you be providing there?
We're giving them an overview of the history of water in Santa Clara County. We're also have a pollution lesson that we teach that is consistent with the history, so they see how the bay has been polluted. And we're definitely promoting National River Cleanup Day, which is coming up in May, where everyone will have an opportunity to go out and help clean a creek. And it's so important right now. Pollution is a huge issue.
And we know that young people love to do community volunteerism, and so through our Adopt a Creek and our Clean a Creek programs, they can get involved that way, right?
Yes, they can. They can sign up by going to cleanacreek.org, and that will help them sign up for the National River Cleanup Day, or call if they want to adopt a creek.
Well, I know that I've asked you to bring some additional materials. We talked about the curriculum that you've developed and some of the materials, but these are all original pieces. Can you talk a little bit about these materials?
Sure. The first book that I worked on, I was working with a friend of mine who worked for California Department of Education, and she was teaching teachers, and she told the story of the little red hen and was developing lessons around it. And I said to her, gee, I wonder if there's a little blue hen. Because the blue hen is much like the little red hen. The little blue hen wants to save water. And so I wrote The Little Blue Hen. And actually you can see me reading the story on our website. If you go to valleywater.org and go to
videos,
right, you can see the story of the little blue hen. The ABCs of Water, which I developed, was a book that works for younger students and older students. So it's actually vocabulary. There are pictures of icebergs, of a lot of different things, and it always asks how much water in this, how much water in that. So you can actually see samples of different things, which was fun. The Little Blue Hen is really for younger students. So then I had to do one for a little bit older students. And if you've read the stories, if you give a mouse a cookie, well, this is Teach a Mouse to Save Water. So then he's going to want to teach everybody that he meets.
Let me see. Oh,
Very
how cute.
fun. And one of the high school students did all the drawings for that. Yes,
illustrations.
it was a local high school
these
student
are
that did that.
fantastic. That's great.
Very cute.
Thank you.
Then, of course, the other side of our business is
Yes.
flood, about too much water.
Yeah.
And so I put together, Chicken Little is our star of our program.
He
So
is.
then somebody on our staff said, well, why don't you write a book about Chicken Little? So I did. I put together Chicken Little's flood advice, so how to be
See.
safe in a flood for the younger students.
Again, beautiful illustrations, great for kids. Keep storm drains clean and gutters clear. Debris is such a flooding fear.
There you go.
You have a way with rhymes, don't you, Kathy?
The kids tell me, that rhymes. Yes, it does. We're also began working a lot with recycled water.
Okay.
And so this book was a little bit of a challenge because I took the poem, This is the House That Jack Built.
Okay.
You can look that up on the internet if you're not familiar with the story. But to write a poem that builds is not as easy as it looks. But I did one for recycled water,
See.
which was very fun.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
This is great.
And the follow-up to that book is to teach a mouse about purified water. So we're
Okay.
building a new water purification plant, and I needed something to introduce it to the students. And so I put together this book and also developed a set of cards for the older students.
This is great because recycled water in general is really the wave of the future, and it really is going to be something we rely on in Santa Clara County for water sustainability. But what is the microfiltration process? So you're talking science here. What are the pump and interprocess tank? What is the reverse osmosis process? I mean, this is great. This is great learning. What are the decarbonation towers? Can you answer these questions? This is terrific.
So very fun. And the other thing that I do, when I go into the classrooms and do a little magic, then the kids all want to,
Yes.
teach me. So I have a couple of tricks that I do teach them. This is one of them. We're one world, 7 billion people, and everybody wants to be queen. Well, not everybody wants to be queen. There are a few people that want to be king. Who can make a difference? Take that population card, pull that
Okay.
out. There are 2 of us that can make a difference. Show them the card.
Aw.
You and me, we can both make a difference.
Great.
And that's my message to the kids. We can make a difference.
And this card says, plant native flowers, take 5-minute showers, fix leaks, save water instead, install aerators and a low-flow shower head. Water plants early, not when it's hotter. When you brush, turn off the water.
There
You are
go.
amazing.
There you go.
This is great. And we have little product placements here as well. Save20gallons.org, which has all of our rebates and rebate programs and conservation tips. And where does your water come from? It's really important for everyone to understand where our water supply comes from in our county. These are all
So those
amazing.
are messages to the parents on
Right.
the back of every book so that the parents can
Okay.
also clue into our WaterWise house calls. So
Right.
it gives them the phone number. We go in with a little blue hen and tell the students to contact the water district and have someone come out to your home, give you a free low flow shower head,
Right.
put aerators on all your faucets, fix your toilet if it's leaking with a new flapper, and all they have to do is take this book home and have your parents call. We actually got a message from a mother called up, and she just was insistent to call because her daughter came home and just insisted that she call right away. So our conservation department said, yeah, Kathy Machado is probably responsible for that. Call her.
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Yeah, we
actually.
did. We did.
Oh, that's so good.
So fun.
Well, and in fact, let's talk a little bit about Charles Chicken Little, because we don't remember oftentimes that we can have flooding here. And even in the midst of a drought, if we have a period of heavy rain, we can have flooding. And kids need to know how to stay safe.
Yes, they do.
God, these are beautiful.
My friend Audrey Munoz did all the illustrations for
These
this.
are beautiful.
Yeah. We have a lesson now that we're doing with the high school and the college students on flooding, and where you actually see the power of water.
Wow.
And so they pretend they're passing drops of water downstream, and then we have a station at the end where we count them, and then we show them the weight of water. 1 cubic foot weighs 62 pounds, and they're like 230 cubic feet per second. So that impacting, so that's why the water can carry a car away. That's why it can knock you down and carry you away. So flooding is serious.
Right. You know, one of the other things that the community can access is our outdoor classrooms. You do some presentations at our outdoor classrooms. Can you talk about them and where they're at?
Sure. We have one right here behind us at Alamitos Recharge Pond. So we walk the students around. We have a nature labyrinth here, which we feature, so the students walk on that. We divide the students up into groups, smaller groups, so there are 5 to 10 students in a group. And we have a weather station here. We have a urban runoff display, and we set up an enviroscape too for them to see how what's going on at their homes affects the watershed. So this is one of the outdoor classrooms. We also have one on Coyote Creek. It's called Coyote Creek Outdoor Classroom. It's on Williams Street, Williams and 16th Street. And that facility, we do the enviroscape again. We have a portable weather station, and there are wells there. So we open that up and show them what a well looks like, and we do porosity and permeability testing so they can understand that. And then we also have a groundwater model. So I demonstrate the groundwater model to the students.
Fantastic.
And then we have another outdoor classroom at Morley Park and McGlincy Ponds. And that...
where is that?
It's right off of San Tomas and 880, right there, very close. And that, again, we do the groundwater model. We take the portable weather station. They have perk ponds there. They also have a really interesting wetlands area, artificial wetlands.
Wow.
So we do a wetlands activity with the students, and they can see how the wetlands have shrunk around the bay and what happens to the wildlife as a result. And they have an oak upland area. So it's a very fun place to take the kids. So that's, and then the last outdoor classroom that we have is in Alviso. It's the Alviso Education Center. And that's on Gold Street.
Right, it's right on the bike trail as well, and I know that a lot of people stop there. And there's picnic tables. That one's open to the public, and as is the one here at our headquarters building.
Right.
But that is a beautiful facility.
Yeah, it is. And then we've also gone over to Gilroy and done lessons by their creek over there in their park. So, and that's just been taking, our groundwater model, urban runoff display. So we take different displays, set up stations, and then the students rotate through the stations.
That's fantastic.
And actually, I think it's really the best is to do a tour with the classes. They get outside, they see the birds, the wildlife, and they just have a really good experience.
Yeah. And for those who are just on the bicycle path along Guadalupe River, stop by our outdoor classroom in Alviso at Gold Street. It's a great place to have lunch and learn a little bit about water resources in our region. So again, thank you so much. These are amazing materials. We have them available. You provide them to the classrooms and to teachers, is that right?
We do.
Yeah.
And if
good
they
stuff.
want some, all they have to do is call up and we'll send them to them.
Great. Well, I know that before you started at the district, the program was, sporadic. We would do some presentations here and there. What do you think has been your greatest achievement?
I think developing the full program so that there are lessons at each grade level. And the program has won several awards, which I'm very proud of. The full program it's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it.
It is. It is quite a legacy, and really, we're known. We, the Water District, are known for providing water resources education. But really, your legacy in particular is outstanding, and we hear it all the time. We get so much great feedback about you. But what do you wish you could have done more?
Well, I was able to go to South Africa several years ago to a conference, Best of Both Worlds conference. And getting to meet other educators and sharing lessons, it was a wonderful experience. It provided me with a lot of enthusiasm for the lessons that I teach and wanting to connect more with other teachers. I've been able to connect with a lot of the teachers and other organizations that do outreach to the community here in Santa Clara County and throughout the state. I'm part of a statewide committee, and so being able to go down south and meeting the teachers down there and sharing ideas. I think educators, one of the things that keeps us going and has kept me going for my career is meeting with other educators and gaining ideas, sharing ideas, talking about what works and what doesn't. It helps you be successful.
Right. You know, years ago, I think environmental education was really reserved for Earth Day or Earth Day week activities. How have you seen it change in California schools?
Pretty much every day is an
Yeah.
Earth Day. And it needs to be here in California. We need to be aware of what's going on in our environment and know our environment. A lot of people don't realize that. I took a walk around my block and there are over 100 different trees growing just in one neighborhood. And I talked to the kids about, do you know what the tree is in your front yard? And most of them don't. But becoming aware of it and getting to know it, then you start to take a little stewardship of it, and actually getting them involved in nature is the best.
And I think with the drought as well, kids, it's an opportunity for us to talk about the life cycle of water and the importance of water in all that we do. So
Right.
they're
So
like
true.
you said, kids are absorbing this stuff. They want to know. They're great little sponges.
And they're great educators for their
Yeah,
families,
right.
as they'll go home and get mad at their older brothers and sisters for taking a shower longer than 5 minutes. I mean, we show them gallons, paper gallons, but we have a whole list of a line of the gallons of water that it takes. It's like 25 gallons for a 10-minute shower, and you could cut that in half. Look at the water that you save. And we tell them, you can get clean in 5 minutes. You don't need 10-minute shower. So it makes a big difference.
One of the other programs that I know you were really instrumental with is developing the exhibit that was first developed at the Los Altos Historical Museum.
Shaped by Water.
Can you talk a little bit about that? It was an incredible
That was
exhibit.
a wonderful exhibit, and I was able to meet with the committees and review their material, and actually had other people in our office review material, and then help them promote the program. I did a magic show for them to promote it, and we had people that were looking in from outside watching the magic show, and then they were all invited to come over to the exhibit. So it was a wonderful exhibit.
Yep.
And it moved. It was in Los Gatos, and it also was at San Jose History Museum.
Right. Yeah, great exhibit. Hope people get a chance to see that. So one of the things I know you do, and I got to see it at the Los Altos Historical Museum, was a little song that the kids get to sing with you and commit their stewardship of the environment. Can you sing us the pledge?
I'd love to.
The famous pledge?
The famous pledge. Yes, my ukulele. I pledge to save some water every day. I pledge to save water, treat it with care, never to waste it, I wouldn't dare. I will not pollute it, I won't hesitate to tell other people of water's sad state. I pledge to conserve every drop that I can, every day of the week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That is my plan, that is my plan. I pledge to save some water every day. I pledge to save some water every day.
Yay! Kathy, thank you so much. It was great to interview you. We are going to miss you so much at the Water District. Kathy will be retiring in August of this year after obviously impacting hundreds and thousands of lives in our county and making a real impact in terms of environmental education. So thank you for everything that
Thank
you've
you.
done and for passing it forward, which we all hope to do.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you so much for joining us on The People Behind Your Water. Hope to see you next time.